Her Show. I'm so excited this is happening. And this podcast is where we open the doors to the stories women aren't always encouraged to tell. So I'm your host, Megan, and I created this space for the bold, the healing, the curious, and the quietly powerful, for the women who feel something stirring inside them, even if they don't quite have the words for it yet. This is for the women who dream of more and the women who are still finding their way through the fog. If you're not already following the Instagram account, please go ahead and follow me at the House of Her Show. I started this Instagram only a few weeks ago, so I'm still building it up, but I'm so forever grateful that you're here listening and watching this, and I'm also so forever grateful for your support too. If you have any takeaways on the back of this episode, I can't wait to hear about them, so please go ahead and share them on this Instagram as well. And in this house, nothing is off limits. We talk about the messy, honest human things that literally shape us: grief, identity, ambition, self-doubt, change, reinvention, and the moments that shake us awake or bring us to our knees. I'll be sharing my own story, my journey through loss, the heartbreak of grief, and the way life can literally collapse and rebuild all at once. My story with Otis and the way losing him changed everything in my world. It's one of the reasons that I'm here today, launching this podcast. And alongside my story, I'll be bringing conversations with incredible women as well, who started from very normal backgrounds, women who didn't grow up in privilege or certainty, but decided to build their lives, build businesses and futures that feel aligned to them. Women who show that you can come from humble beginnings and still create something extraordinary. My hope is that every episode gives you a moment of clarity, comfort, courage, or awakening. A reminder that you're not alone, that you're not broken, and that you are more powerful and capable than you've ever been told. Wherever you are, walking, driving, cleaning, or wrapped in a blanket right now, take a slow breath with me. Let your shoulders drop, let yourself arrive. And before we go any deeper, I want to also take a moment to ground all of us and to bring in some gratitude, because gratitude has literally carried me through some of the darkest days of my life. It's so important to do. If you can, pause for a moment, take a slow, gentle breath in and a soft breath out, and place your hand on your heart or stomach or wherever feels most natural for you. Let yourself become aware of this moment, your breath, your body, your presence here, and bring to mind one thing you're grateful for right now. It doesn't have to be that big. It could be the fact that you literally woke up today, or someone you know who loves you, a small moment of peace, or even the fact that you showed up for yourself by listening to this right now. Let that gratitude sit with you for a moment. Feel it soften something in your chest. Feel your breath deepen, and just for a little, breathe in, hold, and gently exhale. My gratitude today is my neighbour's cat, Ollie. He is such a beautiful soul and always seems to turn up when I want that kind of furry friend and comfort with me. So literally when I come back from food shopping this morning, there he was waiting for me to come into the house, and he's currently still upstairs sleeping on one of the beds. And I'm just so forever grateful for him. Some days I just want that furry friend back. So let's carry this feeling with us as we start this first episode. I want to take you into why House of Her exists. The behind the scenes, the parts I haven't publicly spoken about, and the grief story that changed everything within me. This first episode is part storytelling, part honesty hour, and part permission slip. Now, I might cry, and that's okay, and I want to say something clearly. This podcast is not going to be all about grief. It will be uplifting, empowering, light-hearted at times, and full of value. But my grief journey is such a huge part of why I'm here right now, and I want to honour that truth before we move forward. My hope is that if you're going through something, anything, you'll feel even a little bit less alone by it. I've wanted to start a podcast for years now, but I kept getting put off by it. Either doubt got in the way, I worried what people would think, I questioned whether anyone would literally listen, whether I was interested enough, whether this would work. And if you're listening to this, you've probably talked yourself out of doing something too, because of the fear, the judgment, the overthinking, or just not feeling not enough as well. We let so many possibilities pass us by because we don't trust ourselves, because we imagine the worst, because we think we need to be perfect before we even begin. But in 2025, something changed in me. After losing Otis, after the trauma, the shock, the life changes it brought, the identity shift, something in me literally cracked open. Everything I used to worry about suddenly just felt so small. I realised how short life really, really is, how fragile it is, and how quickly everything can just change, and how important it is to express yourself while you're alive to do it. It became impossible to keep delaying the things that matter, and this podcast mattered. I also became aware of how many women are still having the real conversations quietly, or not having them at all. Women who feel lost, overwhelmed, ambitious but scared, craving more but unsure if they're allowed to want it. And when women finally speak honestly, without pretending, without minimising, without needing to be fine, something shifts. We recognise each other, we soften, we feel understood, we feel human again. House of Her was born from that, a space for truth, alignment and becoming. So I've mentioned little parts of this online, but this is the first time I've spoken about it properly. My grief story begins with Otis, and if you don't know who Otis was, he was my 2.5-year-old black miniature schnauzer, and he was forever my heart. So this is a print of him above me if you're watching the video version. I'm not going to go into how he died, as it may trigger some of you and also me during this podcast as well, but losing him literally shattered me. It changed me in ways I didn't know a person could change. It wasn't just sadness, it was confusion, anger, disbelief, shock, heartbreak, a total identity collapse. A pain that sat inside my chest like a weight I couldn't lift. A loneliness that felt bottomless, even when I was surrounded by people. Some days I couldn't face anything, some days I still can't. It's only been 6.5 months since Otis died, since he was killed. And some days it feels like it happened yesterday still. Like he should still be running around with me, like the world made a mistake and forgot to give him back to me. Triggers show up everywhere. Sometimes it's sudden, sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes I'll literally see the Otis branding on an elevator or a lift and it literally knocks the air out of me. And the hardest part is when a trigger hits me while I'm with people who have absolutely no idea what's going on inside me. On the outside, I'm nodding along to a conversation, but on the inside, I'm holding back tears. And grief made me question everything. Who am I now? What matters? What's the point of anything if it can be taken? What is the afterlife? Does it exist? Will I ever see him again? What does my life look like if I'm not a mum anymore? Why does it happen? Why him? And the guilt has been enormous. The what ifs, the self-blame, the questions I'll never get answers to. I've lost relationships during this time. Grief has literally opened cracks that I've ignored, and it's shown me people who have stood by me. It was always just me and Otis, just the two of us. I had no partner, I've got no kids. He was literally my entire world and truly my best friend. And grief stripped away any part of me that was pretending. It forced me to stop being the strong one, to stop people pleasing, to stop dimming myself, to stop tolerating anything that wasn't aligned. Slowly, very slowly, I began to rebuild, not into who I was before, but into someone new, someone more awake, more honest, more grounded, more intentional. Someone who refuses to shrink or settle. This is why grief is part of my podcast and this of House of Her. Not because it's heavy, but because it's real. Because every woman carries something. My vision for this podcast is simple. I want you to hear stories and think, if she can do it, maybe I can too. I want you to feel understood, supported, inspired, less alone and more connected to the life you actually do want and want to live, and the lifestyle you want to live. I want to share now some of the things that genuinely supported me through the darkest, most disorientating last months of my life. These are not rules by any means, these are not steps, these are simply the things that held me up when everything in me felt like it was collapsing. So if you're grieving anything, a loved one, a relationship, a dream, a version of yourself, maybe something in here will give you even the smallest piece of grounding or comfort or understanding. 1. Time. You'll hear people say time heals, and honestly I don't think grief ever fully heals. The loss becomes a part of you, woven into your identity, your memories, your body, but time helps you breathe around it. For me, time hasn't made it easier, but it has helped me to accept that this is my reality now. The grief sits differently. It's still heavy, but it's no longer crushing me in the same way it did in the beginning. And I also want you to know, if you need days or weeks to disappear, to hide, to cry, to scream into a pillow, to just exist in silence, that is okay. Your mind and soul are trying to process something too big, too unfair, too life-altering. Give yourself permission to step away from the world. Allow yourself to collapse if you need to. These moments are not weaknesses, they're survival. It's something I had to do. Number 2, don't apologise for how you grieve. I've faced judgment, a lot of judgment. People had opinions about how I grieved, what I should be doing, how I should be reacting, how I should be coping. And honestly, that judgment has literally made the last 6 months so much harder than they needed to be. Your grief is valid. So valid. Your reactions are valid. Your capacity is valid. Grief literally hijacks the mind. It rewires everything. You're trying to understand that someone or something you love is suddenly not there anymore. Your mind is in overdrive trying to recognise reality. So if your body shuts down, if your emotions swing wildly, if your energy disappears, if you break down in a supermarket, I literally did in Tesco, or cry in the shower, it's okay. It's all okay. And to anyone listening who is supporting someone in grief, please do not judge pain you do not understand. If you don't understand it, it's fine, but please just be there quietly, gently, patiently. Your loved one will come back to you when they're ready, and at a point in their grief journey when they're ready to face communicating again, if they've had to step away. Number 3, remove yourself from the environment that hurts. So this one was a big one for me. Home felt like a museum of memories, full of reminders that stabbed me in the chest. Every corner, every sound, every routine felt wrong. So I left. I actually went travelling to Australia and Spain for about 6 months. Not because I was running away, but because I needed space to breathe. Removing myself from the immediate reminders gave me moments, tiny pockets where my nervous system wasn't just in survival mode. If your environment feels unbearable, it's okay to step away. Go somewhere new. Even if it's just for the day and you're not able to go travelling, even for an hour, your heart deserves oxygen. So go and take yourself away and to get out of that reminder. Number 4, spiritual and soul practices. I turned to anything that gave me even a flicker of light. Podcasts, meditation, tarot cards, chakra healing, anything that could give me a moment of connection, reflection or stillness. And there was one chakra healing session in particular that changed everything for me. It was the most comforting hour that I will forever cherish. I was in Byron Bay at the time, and I booked in with the guy who did chakra healing. So for the first 30 minutes, he actually did like a deep massage with me, which helped me to feel much more present. And then he went into the chakra healing. And honestly, during this moment, I felt Otis. As he was going through, my heart obviously needed the most attention, but as he was going through, I had such a wave of warmth in this area here. If you're listening, it was on my right side, but on the side of my head, and I could feel Otis hugging me and just being there with me during that moment, and it was so precious. And even when the session finished, the guy, he actually thought it was he knew something had died, someone had died, but he didn't realise who. He actually asked, he was like, I can feel it's a male. And then he was like, is it your dad by any chance? And I was like, gosh, no, it wasn't my dad, it was my dog Otis. And he was just like, gosh, like, wow, your bond was so strong. He said, I could feel it throughout the session, he was there with you. And honestly, gosh, it's just so magical even thinking about it now, and I'm so grateful for that session. So if you need that session or something to bring you back to the light, or to have that reminder and feel that presence of your loved one, please go and do it. It really helped me while I was in Australia, while I was in Byron Bay, and just having some time to myself to essentially step away from Scotland and my home here, and have a bit of a breather. Number 5, communicate however you can. There were days I couldn't speak, days where words felt impossible, so I wrote and I recorded little video diaries just for myself. And sometimes I talked to the 1 or 2 people who didn't judge me, the people who simply just listened, held space and loved me through it. If speaking is too much, journal. If journaling is too much, record a voice note. If that's too much, whisper your feelings into the air. Just let them move somewhere. Silence grief only becomes heavier, so try and do something to help release it. Number 6, movement. When you're ready, of course. I didn't rush back into exercise. My body was paralysed for weeks. But when I eventually turned to movement, slow walks, then gentle gym sessions, then swimming, something shifted. Movement gave me tiny moments where my mind wasn't draining. Sprinting on the treadmill in the gym became one of the few ways I could release what words I couldn't. Like the anger, the emotions, I sprinted it out, and it helped so much. If movement supports you, even in the smallest way, honour that. Number 7, do what makes you feel whole, even if it's different now. Some hobbies of mine became painful. Running, walking certain beaches or certain hills, they all remind me of Otis still. Sometimes the memories were too sharp, so I didn't force myself, and that's something I want you to know. It's okay if things you once loved now hurt too much. It doesn't mean that you'll never return to them. It just means you need time. There's still some things that I personally don't do because it's still too hard. So in the meantime, find little things that give you even the smallest sense of peace or grounding. It could be painting, it could be cooking, reading, gardening, colouring, sitting in cafes, anything that softens the ache for even a little moment. Number 8, have something sentimental made. So this was really important for me. I knew as soon as I lost Otis, I was like, I need something. I need to wear him. I need him here with me while I'm out, and not just at home with having just his at home. So I actually had this ring made for him, and this bracelet, this charm here. This has got his ashes in. This has got a little bit of his fur in, but also the emeralds were his birthstone, and the colour that I always put him in as well, the green. And having these made, especially when I went travelling, he was with me all the time. I carried him with me, and it just gave me that more of a sense of being whole with him. And having that tangible reminder can soothe places that literally feel so empty. It's not about holding on to the past, it's about carrying love forward and having that reminder and that comfort. Number 9, remove triggers without guilt. So one of my biggest triggers, one in the midst of the heaviest days of grief, was Instagram. Seeing babies, families, new puppies, weddings, life moving on at full speed and being celebrated, while mine felt like it had literally just stopped. It broke me. It broke me every time I saw it. Not because I wasn't happy for them, but because my heart was just completely shattered. So I personally had to step away, and I've still stepped away. Protecting your peace is not weakness, it's not avoidance, it's not selfish, it's survival. If something triggers you, unfollow, mute, delete, block, step back, whatever you need to do, go ahead and do it. Number 10, let yourself break. This is the most important one. You do not have to be strong. You do not have to hold everything together. You do not need to cope well for anyone. Let yourself cry, collapse, fall apart, crumble and scream, whatever your body needs. Breaking is not failing. Breaking is releasing. Breaking is part of your healing, and rebuilding doesn't require perfection, it requires honesty. So let yourself break when and if you need to. Each episode of House of Her will end with something I call the house key. A small but powerful truth or reminder you can take into your week. You don't have to rebuild who you were. You're allowed to build into who you are becoming. So have a moment to think about all of the things you've been wanting to do, start, travel to, but haven't because of various beliefs or opinions, whatever it might be. At some point today, write them down, make a list somewhere, and while you're writing them down, have a think about how you can truly make them happen. And by you writing them down and starting to think about a plan towards it will allow your brain to start opening up to it and shifting your thoughts around it. Now, this is something that you don't need to have to start like right now, start right away in any way, but by writing them down, being true to yourself and forming a light plan will help you to start aligning with your true self for the future. Just want to thank you for being here for my first episode, truly, more than you will ever know. And a reminder again, if you're not already following the Instagram account, please go ahead and follow me at the House of Her Show. I'm really, truly grateful that you're here listening or watching this, and something in this episode touched you or softened something inside you or made you feel less alone. Please share it, review it, or message me on Instagram. I genuinely love hearing from you and your stories as well. This is just the beginning of House of Her, and there is so much more to come. And I can't wait to share what is upcoming as well. So until next Sunday, take a breath, be gentle with yourself, and remember, you are becoming someone incredible.